The movie begins with a tense scene aboard a submarine. The crew is on a mission, and something seems off. Johnny, one of the crew members, notices something unusual near a dock and requests a closer look. The admiral interrupts, asking about Laura, and the crew prepares for an emergency. The admiral informs the captain that they've received a mayday signal from a downed plane near an island near Sumatra. The message is fragmented, but it's clear that something significant is happening on the island. President Roosevelt has ordered the best submarine and captain to investigate. The scene shifts to the crew playing cards, revealing tensions among them. Chief, a seasoned sailor, is gambling with his crewmates, including Cutter, who seems to have a personal vendetta against him. The stakes are high, and Chief ends up losing a valuable watch that once belonged to his grandfather, a gift from Robert E. Lee during the Civil War. The tension between Chief and Cutter escalates, with Cutter making personal jabs about Chief's family and gambling habits. The game ends abruptly when the crew receives orders to dive, as they've spotted a convoy. The submarine prepares for an attack. The crew identifies a tanker, a cargo ship, and 2 destroyers. They decide to take out the tanker first, then the cargo ship, and make a quick escape. The tension is palpable as they maneuver into position, fire torpedoes, and narrowly avoid a destroyer. The crew manages to hit their targets but is forced to dive deep to avoid depth charges. The submarine takes damage, and the crew struggles to maintain control. Meanwhile, the crew discusses their mission to rescue a downed pilot near an island called Little Lulu. They receive coordinates and prepare to surface to pick up the pilot. When they reach the island, they find the pilot, who informs them that there are 2 other prisoners and a Japanese soldier in a shack in the jungle. The crew decides to rescue them, despite the risks. The rescued prisoners reveal that they've seen a German U-boat and a Japanese destroyer together near the island. This information is critical, and the crew realizes they've stumbled upon something much bigger than a simple rescue mission. The captain decides to stay on the island to gather more intelligence, while the rest of the crew returns to the submarine with the rescued prisoners. Back on the submarine, tensions rise as Cutter takes command in the captain's absence. He disregards the captain's orders and decides to pursue the German U-boat and destroyer, putting the entire crew at risk. The crew is divided, with some supporting Cutter and others questioning his decisions. The submarine engages in a dangerous cat-and-mouse game with the destroyer, taking heavy damage in the process. As the situation becomes increasingly dire, the crew struggles to repair the submarine and maintain their oxygen levels. They receive a mysterious radio message in German, mentioning U-235, which they later learn refers to uranium, a highly radioactive element. The crew realizes that the German U-boat is carrying a dangerous cargo, and they must get this information to command. The crew manages to surface during a rain squall, using the weather as cover. They engage the destroyer in a fierce battle, firing torpedoes and narrowly avoiding being rammed. In a dramatic climax, they successfully sink the destroyer and escape with their lives. The movie ends with the crew celebrating their survival and preparing to rendezvous with the captain. They reflect on the mission and the sacrifices made, knowing they've uncovered a critical piece of intelligence that could change the course of the war. The final scene shows the submarine heading home, with the crew looking forward to a well-deserved rest.